Now let's meet Jerry. Jerry's bio reads grew up poor, retired at 28, seven-figure Lego investor. I write about it here on his Substack. He buys Legos before they get retired, and then he sells them years later for a massive profit. And he, I guess, got to retire at 28, and good for him. Seriously. I grew up poor. I didn't get to retire until I was 45, but everybody takes a different path in life, right? Except Jerry here has some pretty shitty viewpoints. Example.
If your wife works, I just want to let you know, as a man, you have failed. Now, it's one thing to both be working towards a life where you can allow her to not work and you're just on your way there, but it's a whole nother thing to want your wife to work, which a ton of you on this platform do, and I don't understand it. Shame on all of you guys who make your wife go back to work after having a child. You make her go on maternity leave, enjoy all of the positive things of being a stay-at-home mother, and then make her go back to work. Why? Just so you can afford a few more toys? Oh, so you can afford your truck? So you can afford another boat? That's why? That's why you have her work? Come on. You're going to have other people raise your children, make memories with your children rather than you or their mother because you want shiny toys? And don't even come at me with, in this economy, both people have to work. No, that's not true. Both people have to work if you need to pay for daycare. But if you don't need to pay for daycare, one income can do it. And if the father's income, single income, doesn't cover it, you're living outside your means. You're buying things you can't afford. You're doing things other than advancing your career and finding a way to make more money. This, like everything else in life, is a skill issue. If you're a man and you think you need your woman to work, but that you need her income, that is a skill issue. I will not allow anyone on social media to gaslight me or anyone else into believing that you need a dual income household. It is not true. It never will be.
Without even showing you another piece of Jerry's content, you can understand what kind of a man, quote unquote, Jerry is. Simply by the way he words things. I don't know if Jerry is married. If he is, I would love to meet the woman that would tolerate this type of existence. I don't know if Jerry has children or not. But the way he words things tells you how he views women, right? Allow her to not work. Make her go back to work. Jerry uses terminology that shows the world he views women as possessions for him to control. That tells me Jerry's never been with an actual true woman who has a mind and thought process and feelings of her own that she's willing to express and put out there in the relationship. If Jerry is in a relationship or whatever relationships he's ever been in, it would be my guess that the women in the relationship don't have much of a say because Jerry thinks he's one of these alpha males. Here's some more of his content.
I have a question for all the reply guys, all the people who comment on posts, on videos like this, acting like they know everything. I have a question for you. If you're so smart, why aren't you happy? And if you're so smart, why aren't you wealthy? Why are you overweight? Why haven't you built anything? And if you're so smart, people lining up to invest in you and all of the things you're capable of. Like, so many of you are geniuses, yet there's just no ingenuity, no accomplishments, nothing to back it up. And don't interpret this the wrong way. I'm not saying you guys should stop. I love it. I love the comments from you people who think you're about 130 IQ, but in reality you're at about 95 to 105. And don't take the easy way out and say it's just because you're lazy. No, sorry, that's not a good enough excuse. So again, tell me, if you guys are so smart, why have you not accomplished anything of value?
So now Jerry can tell your happiness, your accomplishment level, your wealth level, all from your comments on his videos. All while telling you, you claim to know everything. Seems the only one claiming to know anything is this fucking asshole.
Hear me out on this. When people with kids get divorced, they should not do the whole pass the kids back and forth thing. Whether it's, on weekends or halfway through the week or any of that. The kids should be the ones who live in the house where they were born and where they grew up permanently. They should never have to leave. And instead of passing them back and forth, the parents should be the ones who come and go. I'm not talking about the marriages that end because of abuse. I'm not talking about the ones that end because one person does something insanely ridiculous. Not talking about that. I'm talking about the ones where people end it amicably, or at least close to that, or for whatever reason people get divorced for nowadays. I have no idea. Do you know how much better that would be for children? Do you know how much better mentally they would be growing up in a situation like that? It would be life-changing. I already know I'm going to get comments saying, oh, well, if parents were that coordinated, they probably wouldn't get divorced in the first place. No, it's really just down to a skill issue, right? If you can't make that happen, if you can't figure out how to do that, the thing that I suggested, if you can't figure that out between two adults, it's a skill issue. Like, it's a personal problem, and you can absolutely do it if you...
So now, while accusing other people of claiming to know everything, you know what's best for all of the divorced families out there and all of the divorced children out there. I've gone through your various social media accounts and I've read your bios and I've read how you describe yourself and your about me and all of that good stuff. And the one thing that I notice is there's no talk about a family. So I'm betting you don't have kids. There's no talk about a significant other on any level, girlfriend, fiance, or wife. So maybe you're kind of with somebody now, but I'm betting you're not married. But somehow you know what's best for married people and families with children. You know, in reading your bio, the one thing that I couldn't help but notice when I click the link in your bio and then I go and I read the stuff that you talk about yourself, it's all about how to make money. It's all about how you made money, how other people should be making money, and how you can show other people how to make money. You're one of those people that wants to sell the formula on how to get rich. But I don't hear anything about you. You don't tell us about you. You don't tell us about what you like to do, what excites you, what you do in your free time, what your passions are. It's only about money. So when I hear you talk about women, and I hear you describe how you believe you know what's best for fucking everybody, despite not having lived most of the experiences that you claim to know what's best for. And then I hear I read your about me sections, and I don't see any personal detail, just how to go out and make money. What I see is an empty shell of a man that is not happy with themselves and projects that onto other people. I hope you find happiness one day, but word of advice, going on the internet and trying to pretend that you know what's best for people in situations that you've never lived is making you look like a jackass. See, I come in here and I talk about what I think is wrong with society, and when it comes to a wide range of groups that I'm not part of. The stuff that I talk about with certainty is the stuff that I've lived. Otherwise, I give my opinion on things. Here you are flat out telling people what's right, what's wrong, what should and should not be happening based on your almighty knowledge. And I'm here to tell you that as somebody that has been leaving his footprint on this earth for the better part of a half a century, who's been a father, who's been a grandfather, who's been a husband, who's been a business owner, who's had the opportunity to retire over 2 decades ahead of schedule, sitting here listening to you, you have a lot of issues that you have yet to work on.